Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead. Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20, breaks free to the 25 to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this Hump Day edition. I'm your boy, the SuperBack Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Listen, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Uh-oh. My head's crooked. There's more. Listen, go to the show's page. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning. Go to that page as well. Like that page as well. So in addition to Sports Zone Chicago, you'll also be liking Shawn and Maya in the morning. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real. Listen, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the button. That's the little bell right next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. You get it? You got it? Good. Now, if you're watching this on our mobile app, yay. Wait, don't even tell me you didn't know we had a mobile app. Stop playing. We have an app. And it's easy to get, so it doesn't even matter where you get your apps from, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Ward, Venture, Woolworth, wherever you get them from. You do this. You go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it, you take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew. And I mean a slew of articles. Thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. Now, if you're watching us on our Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. And if you didn't know, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. So if you have a Roku television in the house, do us this favor. Do us a solid. Go and download Sports Zone Chicago's tile right to your TV. All right? Download the channel. So put it right there. It'll be next to Netflix, Hulu, Prime, Max, Disney Plus, Showtime, Stars, Paramount Plus. Put it right next to all of them. And you can watch Sports Zone Chicago live on the big screen. Hell, we're live right, Mickey, Ficky, now. We're live there right now. That's what I'm talking about. Do it. If you have more than one Roku television in the house, do us a favor. Okay? Download Sports Zone Chicago's channel to all the Roku televisions in the house. All right, even if it's in the kids' room, the baby's room where he's just going to watch movies and things like that and kids stuff and was it Teletubbies and Barney? Is that what your kids watch nowadays? I don't even know. Just do us that favor. All right, get it? Got it? Good. Now you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. You want to know what I did? Here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle. You see it at the bottom of the screen at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Akai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at The Sports Chica. And if you want to follow her on Instagram because you're an IG and you do it just for the gram, we'll just follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. Listen, we have a phenomenal show for you, but we need you to get interactive. So listen, whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's our mobile app, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here on the thread, and guess what? We'll put it up on the screen. It'll incorporate it into the show, and that's what makes this the best Chicago morning sports show around. That's you. So bring it all, baby. Your questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. And you know what The Rock says. Don't sing it, baby. Just bring it. So bring them all. Leave all your comments. Let's see who's in the chat line right now, because it looks like it's going. Yes. Cornelius Squalls, what up? Yeah. Oh, that's what I needed to do. Thank you. Cornelius Squalls in the Mickey Ficky house. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Man, we got, and it is a happy anniversary to my guys. So yesterday, and I told you, I done did tell you. So my guy, Junior, I met Junior and Patty 1997. Crazy. I don't know why this is like this. All right, we gotta redo this hat. I need an official hat curler. There you go. 1997. That's when I met Junior. We were playing for the Chargers. Patty was pregnant with Mondo. That's Armando Emeterio. A lot of the third, or Junior likes to call him the turd. And as we got to become, we became close. And it was, I came to find out that they're crazy. Those two guys are nutso. They were married on Halloween. They were married on Halloween in a cemetery, a chapel in a cemetery, in costume. I was nutso. So yesterday was their anniversary, and happy anniversary to my guys, Patty and Armando. Awesome. I'll show you something in a second. Michelle Wells in the Mickey Ficky house. What up? Man, happy hump day, Papa. It is cold outside. Man, getting up for CrossFit this morning was a beep. Man, that was tough. Man, I'm telling you. My girl, Monica Lara in the house. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Thank you, Mommy. I appreciate it. Mucho. My man, Armando Emeterio Lara Jr., he's in a Mickey Ficky house. That's what I'm talking about. Brian, pleasure to meet you the other day. Man, good talking to you, Brian Hendren. He's back in the Mickey Ficky house. That's what I'm talking about. And listen, I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know this. We will have more of the usual suspects as the show goes on. All right? More of the usual suspects. That I can guarantee you. So, well, let me give you the rundown. At 9:30, our man Darnell Mayberry from The Athletic is going to join us. We're going to talk Chicago Bulls basketball. The Bulls got away with a victory. They stole one on Monday, And you know what? I'm okay with it. People are, everyone always wants to be contrarian. Everyone always wants to down our own teams. The self-deprecating bullshit's got to stop. The Bulls won. Oh, well, they lucked out on that one. Who the hell cares? There's no asterisk for lucky wins or barely got by. It's a W or an L. That's it. Stop always trying to top people. That shit's played out. It's played out. Everyone always doing something. You say something, someone's always got to top it. I got a cousin who used to do that all the time, and I fucking hated it. So don't do that. Oh, well, stop. Let someone say something, and especially when you're being a negative Nancy. Oh, my God. Like, my skin was crawling. The Montez Sweat, we're going to talk about that later. The trade. Oh, well, he's older than Chase Claypool. Oh, well, he's 27. Oh, you have to give a second round pick. Oh, you got to pay him. Oh, you don't think they knew that? You don't think they knew that? Oh, now you got to pay him big money. You don't think they knew that? And secondly, why the hell do you care what the hell the Bears pay for people? That has nothing to do with you. And sometimes you got to overpay people in professional sports. Sometimes that's how it works. That's the cost of doing business. Man, people just want to talk shit and be contrarian just to hear their voice heard. Shut the hell up. Sometimes people just need to shut up. And they go in there, they complain about every little thing. You know, this trade. I thought Bears fans would be ecstatic about it, be happy about it. Then, of course, here come the writers or ESPN, one ESPN expert who let me know the last time he played a football game or coached it or had front office experience. Before you say football expert. Said, it's a horrible trade. It's an egregious trade by the Bears. So, you know what? There you go. Misery loves company. I need clicks, so let me take the negative angles because everyone's going to read it. And it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Oh, my God. It's crazy. Talk about we wanted it. We needed a pass rusher. We got a pass rusher. Now everyone's complaining we got the pass rusher. I'm telling you, you can't make everybody happy. And they're vehement about it. People are vehement. I'm like, wait a minute. First of all, it's not your money that you're spending. Second of all, I like the fact that Ryan Poles didn't get scared off from last year. Last year was a bad trade. Okay, it happens. All GMs make bad trades. All GMs make bad moves. All GMs make bad draft picks. They all do. This is literally his second full year on the job. Not even. He's in the middle of his second full year on the job. And you want to crucify the guy and expect him to be one of the best GMs in the history of the world. Relax. Let the guy grow. You don't expect someone to come into the league and be a star first year. No. And if you do, you're a freaking idiot. You're probably an asshole because you don't, they're paid. It's still an adjustment period. Just like when you went to your job first day, you weren't very good at it either. There are a lot of things you had to learn. There are a lot of things that you had to get acclimated to. How the system works. You didn't know that day one. And you went to work every day. And it still took you time. These guys are at work. Ryan Poles is at work. And yes, he's going to make some mistakes. Yes, he's made some mistakes. Yes, he's done some other good things as well. So you get everybody jumping on this guy saying, oh, he's this, he's that. Come on, man. Give the guy a chance. You know what? This part of this culture. Part of this culture, you jagbags who want instant gratification. Things have to develop. Things have to grow. Man, everybody's all over this guy. And I get it. He's made some bad moves. No one's talking about his great moves. No one's talking about Darnell Wright. They're not constantly bringing up Darnell Wright as a great move. No one's talking about BJ Edwards. No one's talking about that. Was he second in the NFL in tackles? They're not talking about that. They're not talking about that. You want to talk about Chase Claypool? Talk about this. Don't be that asshole who says, who only wants to bring out the negative to show, I don't know what you want to do. Maybe you want to show you're right. Maybe you just want to show you're an asshole. I don't know what it is. But don't be that jerk who just points out the bad things and doesn't give him his flowers when he deserves his flowers. Like, people kill me. They kill me. It's all doom and gloom. It's not all doom and gloom. Look at the big picture if you can focus on the big picture. It's crazy what people are doing. We're saying about this trade. The Bears have the most cap money. Then they're if it's not that, then they're talking about the timing of it. Well, why not just wait? Because you might not get him. You might not get him. At least here he's in house. Here He's with his team, his teammates. It's amazing. Amazing how negative people can be. And then when you give them what you want, they're still negative. Or we should have got Chase Young. He only went for a third round. Telling you, people are something else, boy. People are something else. Let this thing play out. And we're Bears fans and Chicago fans are so full of PTSD. It's so easy for us to go negative. Easy. I think the only fan base that has been positive all year, and I'm sure even they bitch and moan about when things aren't perfect, that was the Patriots for the last 20 years. All right, minus the last 3. That's it. But then they're so used to winning that if they don't win by a certain amount, if they win ugly, trust me, I know my people out there in New England, in Boston. Boston's wicked pissa. I know how they get. We got to play better. You won the game. Relax. Relax. We're going to improve on it. Everything doesn't work out perfectly all the time. You expect people, athletes, to play a perfect game. It doesn't happen. Do you live a perfect life? No. You screw up. We screw up. Stop having unrealistic goals. Now, if you're yelling at a guy who's dropping the ball constantly, who's making bad decisions constantly, who's overthrowing guys constantly, who's missing the hole when he's running the ball constantly, then okay. Brian, this is funny as hell, and you are completely on point. Some people, if you handed them a winning lottery ticket, they'd bitch now that they're in a higher tax bracket, and if you gave them a paper cut. Yeah, like, I got to pay all these taxes now. You just won $13 million. Yeah, but Uncle Sam took half of it. So you got $6.5 million. Stop it, people. Sports is fun. Let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy what the Bears are building. And I don't think Ryan Poles is as stupid as some people think. And here's the funny part. Why don't you just give him a third? Do you realize it takes 2 to tango? Do you realize that there's parameters? You know why Chase Young went for a third round pick? Because of his injury history. That's why. No one's given a second for him. His injury history is the reason. You know, it's easy to play Monday morning GM. After the fact GM. Very easy. You just wonder, like, why are you bitching and moaning about everything? You know, you sit there, you're just like, come on, man. If you're a Bears fan, support the Bears. I'm not saying you can't critique them. I'm not saying you can't criticize them. I'm not saying that at all. So don't even come at me with that bullshit. What I'm saying is support your team. When there's criticism, sure. When a strong critique needs to happen, sure, let's do it. But where are you when it's time to give them praise? Where are you for that? Oh, they're supposed to do it. You don't think they want to feel appreciated as well? You want to feel appreciated in your job when you go to work? You want to feel appreciated at home when you're with the wife and kids? You want to feel appreciated? Does it feel good when it happens? Well, then give them that same courtesy. Man, I'm tired. And here's the funny thing. That wasn't even a conversation. Oh, we got to pay him. It was like Montez Sweat, Chase Young, Brian Burns, one of those. We got to get one of them. We get one of them. Oh, man, why did we get that one? Why not this one? Are you serious? People are something else. You just want to bitch and moan just to bitch and moan. But I digress. 9:30, Darnell Mayberry from the Athletics going to call and join us. We're going to talk Bulls basketball. That's how this whole thing got started, where people were complaining that the Bulls stole one. No one gives a damn. Jeremiah. Jeremiah, good morning, mijo. How are you? Big shout out to Armando Meterio, a lot of the fourth. I know he's in school, not watching, but I'm sure Junior will this when he gets home. So Armando, Dito, Jojo, and Jeremiah. Armando, they call him Dito, and they call him Jojo. I told you a long story about Jojo, but that's a funny story. You should know it. So Dito / Jojo and Jeremiah, good morning. Livette Lee's in the Mickey Ficky house. Good morning, Ma. Thanks for tuning in, my man. Luis Mejia, he's in the Mickey Ficky house. Rise and grind, Papa. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. And then at 10 o'clock, Erik Kramer is going to join us. And now I'm going to put him to the test. Like, wait, man, I thought Tyson Bagent was better than Justin Fields. What happened? What happened? Now, come on, man. When you don't, and then here's the awesome part. People are saying, well, it's the play calling. It's his teammates. They didn't do what Tyson does best. They didn't help him out. Oh, so it's okay for Tyson Bagent to have those things and why he wasn't successful, but it's not okay for Justin Fields to be able to be unable to overcome those things. He's got to do that. Tyson, don't worry about that. They're fighting the same things. Telling you, people are something else. So that's the lineup today. 9:30. Darnell Mayberry from the Athletics going to join us talking Bulls. Damn, that's 5 minutes. At 10 o'clock, our guy, Erik Kramer, talking Bears. So we got to hustle up. We got to get a couple of these in here. Let's talk about, you know how we do the first segment of every show. It's called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
First, top of the morning topic, we're talking the Bulls. On Monday, the Bulls beat the Pacers. This is the game I'm talking about. 112-105. Booch, the walking double-double. He, 24 points, 17 rebounds. Zach LaVine contributed 23, and DeMar DeRozan contributed 20. Bulls have I think it's a 66%, almost 70% winning percentage when the big three, Booch, Zach, DeMar, when they all score 20 points or more. So that was a good win by the Bulls. They tried to give it away late, but you know what? They were resilient and were able to come away with the dub. The Bulls, next top of the morning topic tonight, the Bulls travel to Dallas, the Big D, to face the Dallas Mavericks. Tip-off is 7:30. You can watch that game on NBC Sports Chicago and listen to it on their flagship 670 a.m. So the Bulls look to try and, get some momentum going, get 2 wins in a row. Good luck to them. All right. The next top of the morning topic. On Monday, the Blackhawks got blown out by the Coyotes. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Blackhawks got blown out by the Coyotes. The only goal scored was by Connor Bedard. They got blown out 8-1 in the land of the rising sun. No, it's in the desert. I think the land of the rising sun is Japan. Well, the Blackhawks won. Connor Bedard, he scored his 4th goal of the season, assisted by Korchinski with his 3rd helper, and Seth Jones his 4th. They don't play again until Saturday, the Blackhawks, so they have some time to kind of get on the ice and kind of work a lot of the kinks out. And then the big I guess the big note before we take a break. Bears. This is the one. This is the one that's causing so many problems for everybody. Like, damn. The Bears acquired defensive end Montez Sweat from the Washington Commanders for their own 2024 second-round pick. It immediately bolsters this defensive line. It immediately helps us. We have two, and here's the thing that I hope. I hope it puts pressure on Yannick Ngakoue. Okay, now you got another dude on the other side. How about having a couple of meetings at the quarterback every week? Say 4 or 5 meetings at the quarterback a game. How's that? I think this does wonders for Billings. I think this does wonders for Javon Dexter. I think this does wonders for Zach Pickens. I think this does wonders for Justin Jones. All right, you're upping the ante. You're increasing the level of play in that room. In that room. Hopefully, they take advantage of it. Well, listen, we got to take a quick break, and then the other side of the break, we're going to talk to our guy, Darnell Mayberry, talk a little Bulls basketball. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face. Ugly.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Backdoor, good job by Kobe White to pick that off. They were trying to get it to Matherin on the backdoor. Something that the Pacers love to do. White, the steal, and the 3.
Bang, bang. You remember him last year. I mean, he's a fearless player.
And White takes it right in.
Oh, let me get some butter with that roll, Kobe White.
Took it away from Hield. Craig the defense. Craig with the pass. Drummond inside. DeRozan the 5 for the Bulls. DeRozan spins free. Craig with the tap. Loose ball to Caruso.
Good offensive rebounding by the Bulls.
Nobody picked up AC, so he hit
Maybe
the
they
three.
should have.
Left it short. And Vucevic lunged out to save it to Kobe White, who spins his way past Matherin. Finds Caruso. Oh,
right down the middle. Hammer time.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of NBC Sports Chicago. Those are the bullies. Bullies are bullies. Damn right, baby. You know what? What a big win over Pacers. I like it. You know, it's and again, people were just so pissy about, oh, well, they stole one. They stole one. Be happy. Stop being that negative Nancy. Stop being that, leave that bullshit alone. Stop it. We're Bulls fans. We're Chicago fans. Stop being so damn negative. Man, my first guest today, man, good friend of the program. Glad to get him back on now. The Bulls season is up and running. He's the Bulls beat writer for The Athletic. You can find him on Twitter at Darnell Mayberry. Back to Shawn and Maya. Darnell Mayberry. D, what up, big dog? How you doing? Good morning.
Good morning, Shawn. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
Perfect. I am wonderful. Thank you for asking. How you, everything good on your end?
Never better, man. No complaints. Ready for November and the last 2 months of this year. It's been a great year so far. It's actually my birthday tomorrow, so
no way. Okay.
Great week so far.
How was trick or treating with the little one yesterday?
You know, I was in Indy, so I didn't have. She was with her mom, but
okay.
You know, she looked like she had a good time. We got to FaceTime. She looked like she had a great time.
Excellent. Glad to hear it. That's good stuff. Let's talk about these Bulls, man. People are mad. Dude, I'm telling you, I went on a little rant this morning. We are in Chicago. Maybe it's all fan bases, but like I'm tired of the negative nonsense. You know, the Bulls got away, nice win. All right, on Monday. All right, and then I was like, well, they lucked out on that one. They stole one. How many times have we snatched defeat from the jaws of victory? Now it's snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. But talk to me about this team. What did you see? What did you see Monday? How did they pull that off? Because they did try and give it away late in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question, and it's a great observation by you. Last year, they gave away a lot of games, and that's sort of been their MO. Now they're winning.
Very charitable.
Some of those games, it's like, hey, you got to take the good with the bad. So I like the way they closed the game in Indiana. I like the way they got to the rim. I wrote about it at The Athletic. 5 straight buckets, starting with that Caruso dunk down the middle of the lane, where they just got to the basket. I haven't had a chance to analyze it yet and break down some of the film from last night, or night before. But you know, it looked like they were targeting Tyrese Halliburton and really trying to exploit some matchups. And that's what you need to see the Bulls do. They got some incredible offensive talents, and if they're not exploiting matchups on the offensive end, then they're doing their players a disservice. They're doing the fans a disservice. So I really love the way they didn't settle for jump shots. They didn't settle for ISO ball. They really just put their heads down, attack the rim, use the ball movement to close out the Pacers. While the Pacers were the jump shooting team in crunch time the other night.
Yeah, I don't know why you would ever do that. Why you would point out a weakness on an opposing team and exploit it. That don't make any kind of sense. I don't even know. It's finally nice that we have that ability recently, and that's good. The big three were all with dubs, so they all with 20 points. Talk to me about how good they play when they have all three of them have 20 points and more.
Yeah, that's when they're at their best. But you know, against the Pacers, they weren't. DeMar and Zach didn't have a great shooting game. Vucevic could have been better. He's missing a lot of shots around the basket to start this season. I think his defense has actually been better than his offense.
I thought so too.
Start the season, blocking shots, getting deflections.
I know what the hell is that, dude?
Except for against Detroit, Jalen Duren is a beast, and that young fella is going to be a problem for a lot of people for a long time if he stays healthy. So take that one away. Vooch, I think, has played well defensively this season, but you know when the big three are clicking, and that's sort of rare. I mean, they just don't seem to have those nights where they all have it going offensively on the same night, and that's what you want to see more from the Bulls.
Well, and hopefully they do. You know, it's in there. It's another year with these three, and it's you know, we're concerned. You know, I mean, DeMar's getting older. Zach's got paid. All right, Vooch re-signed. We're like, okay, kind of like running it back with the same crew for the most part. He added a couple, but for the most part, the core is the same. Should we as Bulls fans expect anything different? I mean, we still don't have Lonzo Ball, and that was the main thing for a couple of years ago. It's crazy, a couple of years ago, but we don't have him playing. So what do we have to get excited about? Same stuff, same. Look at the verse, same as the first.
Yeah, I think the offense is trying to implement some new wrinkles where they can take more threes, get out on the break a little bit more in transition, play a little faster, make quicker decisions. They've talked about those things for maybe 2 seasons now, and we're still waiting on them to do it consistently. When they do it, they're a fun team. Yeah. Torrey Craig, Javon Carter, I think, will add to that this season. Javon Carter is not afraid to get up those 3-point shots.
No, he's not.
Craig, I think he's shown a lot offensively as well. So more than, I should say a lot, more than we anticipated. We thought he's defender, rebounder, but he's coming in, slashing, cutting,
coming in hot.
Yeah, so I like a lot what I see from Torrey Craig. But yeah, I mean, it's up to this team to prove that they're not the same team that they have been the last 2 seasons. Until they do it, we're not going to believe it.
Guys, we're joined by Darnell Mayberry, the Bulls beat writer for The Athletic, talking Bulls basketball here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Man, great minds think alike, man, because you just stole my thunder, because that was going to be my next question with the additions of those new players, Carter and Torrey Craig. What have you seen, and what do you expect from them, and how are they going to uplift this team so it's not the same old from last year?
I'm curious to see whether or not Billy Donovan moves Torrey Craig into the starting lineup for Patrick Williams.
That was my next question.
Yeah, I just wrote about Patrick Williams today, and he's not playing well to start the season. He's averaging 5 points, 3 rebounds. He's shooting like 33%, 18% on threes. Like, it's just not been a good season. And every time Torrey Craig comes into the game, you can see a different level of energy, different level of defense, different level of rebounding. He makes his presence felt in a way that Patrick Williams is still learning how to do. So if you're looking for an immediate impact, win now type player, that's Torrey Craig more so than Patrick Williams right now. So I think it was a great signing by management, and now I'm curious to see if Billy Donovan and the coaching staff have what it takes to make that bold move. I mean, that's going to be a big decision that they have to make, knowing that Patrick Williams was looked at as a big piece of this puzzle coming into the season.
I think the biggest part of that, and if you do that, that's fine, but the biggest part of that has to do with Patrick Williams' psyche. What's that going to do to his psyche? All right, because I did a rant on him, not just him, a couple of players here on the team. It was Cody Whitehair on the Bears, little Justin Fields, Patrick Williams, and who else? Some of my White Sox. I love you almost got, like, man, you got to grow the hell up, man. Like, shit, you got to develop at some particular point. And I get it. So the organization is partly responsible for your development. But damn, Patrick, you've been here. This is your 4th year now. Like, you're in the summer leagues. You're playing against other NBA players. There's got to come a point in time where you just get better. There's got to come a point in time where you take it upon yourself to grow up and say, hey, I want to be a legitimate force in the NBA. Is that just not in him? Or is that just when DeMar and Zach are off the court? Because he plays well then, but when they're on, he's still, But to me, it's like 4 years, dog. Something should have clicked by now.
Yeah, he's saying and doing all the right things. I even give him credit how he's come out this season. He's looking to be more assertive. He's looking for his shot. He's attacking the basket. His shots just aren't falling. Defensively, he's still willing, capable, but it hasn't gone his way. He's had his moments, but he's trying to do the right things. We talked about him being aggressive, needing to be more aggressive for the last 3 seasons. He's come out this season and he's trying to do that. It's just still not working for him. So, like you said, I don't know if it's mental, if they have to worry about it getting to that point, if it's not there yet. So, but Billy Donovan, I give him credit too. At Indiana, he gave him a longer stint in the first half instead of pulling him when he did that the last 2 games against Toronto Detroit. So Patrick Williams is getting the opportunity. He needs to take advantage of.
Darnell, I agree with you 100%. But my thing is this: like, if you can't score, just because you can't score doesn't mean you can't affect the game. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean you can't affect the game. You better play some lockdown defense. You better crash the boards. And he's refused to crash the boards. Like, come on, man. You're 6'9" with a big frame. You came in the league with that 6'9" big frame, and you still haven't been a legitimate rebounder. What do you think can motivate him to crash the boards, to make assists, to play better defense? I mean, again, there's other ways to affect the game, and if you're not scoring, then there's other ways. You have to do those other things in order to stay in that rotation. Because if not, like you said, he might not be on that starting lineup, and his minutes are going to go down and down, down, down. And he keeps playing like this.
Yeah, he's already averaging a career low so far this season, 21.8. I think he's at. So it's only been 4 games, and that's what DeMar DeRozan said after the Pacers game. They got 78 left. It's a long season. But when you start like this in a contract year, and it's not 78, by the way, the trade deadline comes before the end of the season. So the Bulls are going to have to make a decision sooner rather than later on what they want to do with Patrick Williams. And not just him, but the direction of his team. So, nothing has gone well for him to start this season. And you would hope that over time he can figure out something to put it together, whether it's making shots, rebounding, defensive, playmaking, energy, whatever it is. He has to figure out something to find a way to leave his imprint on the games.
The Bulls, early on, they started. I didn't know who I was watching. They put up like 78 threes in one game. I'm kidding, of course, hyperbole. It was like 40-something threes in game one. Like, whoa, hold on, player. Don't, you know what I mean? What are we doing here? They're trying to catch up with the current NBA. Do they have the roster to do that?
I don't think so. I mean, when you look at their 3-point shooters, they are capable, but they're not marksmen, like 3-point marksmen who are just lethal from 3-point range. Vooch is okay. Patrick Williams is their best 3-point shooter, and he's a standstill shooter. I'm kind of tired of the Bulls trumpeting Patrick Williams like he's J.J. Redick or, like Kyle Korver or one of these, sharpshooting, historical sharpshooters who can just come off threes and hit any kind of shot. Like Patrick Williams is not that type of shooter. Kobe White, streaky. Zach LaVine takes questionable shots. He's a really, really good 3-point shooter, but he takes a lot of questionable shots. So just up and down the roster, they don't have the consistency with the 3-point shot, and I think maybe even to a point the IQ. You talk about these players passing up a lot of 3-point shots. That's been a thing that they've talked about for the last season or two now. So there's just so many different issues with their 3-point shooting. You have to conclude that they don't have the roster to be taking 43s a game.
Yeah, and it seems that the total number seemed to have decreased as the games go on, game 2, 3, and 4. Because to me, it seems like that's not them. To me, it seems like they realize that's not them. Because I think they were just it seemed like they were firing up threes just to fire up threes, as opposed to getting them in the flow of the offense. The ball movement is good, and that's when you get those threes, get the open one, hit the open man, hits the extra pass, but they just can't. They were just firing up threes like, oh, shit, I think it's time for us to shoot a 3. Bam. And it's like, no, that's not how you do it. I think it's going to take time for them to understand that and get acclimated to it. And you know what? And more often, or the biggest thing is not be afraid of it. Just take it. If you miss it, okay, that's the new NBA. And I think they have to not be so worried about missing those and just keep taking them in the flow of the offense.
I hear you, Shawn. I would say, how long is it going to take them? Like,
that's the $1 million question.
This is year 3 with this core now. If they don't know how to move the ball, get into the paint, kick out to an open shooter by now, we're not going to see it. And so that's sort of my frustration with the front office and bringing this group back for a 3rd season. We know that they don't have the ball handlers who can break down the man, get into the paint, cause havoc, collapse the defense, and kick out. That's not how this roster is constructed. So, and they're not moving the ball, making the quick decisions consistently enough to be able to get the defense in scramble mode, rotation mode, and then find shooters that way. So I think the 3-point shooting would be a lot better if they were able to do those things consistently or had a player or two who could get into the paint consistently, but they don't have that.
Talk about the other end of the court. Defensively, who's our rim protector? Who's our rebounder? I mean, how are we going to continue? How are we going to win a bunch of games, even 500 or more, at end of the season at over 500? If we don't have a rim protector or rebound, I mean, do we have one that I've missed or?
No, you didn't miss it.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
I mean, Vooch has played well in the paint defensively. Torrey Craig has come up with some huge blocks. Talking about shot blocking. Drummond is a presence back there who at least makes you think. But, the game is so perimeter oriented now. All these teams shooting threes. The Pacers took, 46 threes Monday night and lost, because they only made 12 or something like that. So, but that's the thing. These Drummond, who is supposed to be one of your rim protectors, he's being sucked out so far on the perimeter, guarding pick and rolls and having to guard the ball action. You're getting your rim protectors pulled away from the basket in this new NBA. So that's something that the Bulls have to figure out. I would love to see them get like a young, athletic rim protector who can go back there and block shots. And not just that, but also rim run and catch lobs on the other end out of the pick and roll. They don't have that. Drummond is as best as they have, but he's he's shaky and sort of erratic finishing. He missed a dunk the other night in Indiana. I'm like, man, how many dunks you gonna miss this season?
Man, I liked him, dude. I like him a lot. Sometimes he just goes a little too crazy. Like he's the kind of guy that you can't give too much rope and because he'll rebound on one end and then he'll try and be like Shaq and just take it coast to coast. Like, hold on, player, you can't do that. And he's a runaway bull. He is a runaway freight truck. I'm like, oh no, this is not going to end good. Someone's going to get thrown into the basket. He's going to end up. He's just got to turn himself or pull himself back a little because he just likes to go crazy. So I like him. I hope Billy uses him more. It seems like he is. That dude, he can get double-digit rebounds like that. I mean, that dude is. But I just hope he plays him more. And yeah, to me, he is one of the best rim protectors that we do have. What about the guards? All right, we got a lot of guards. Man, dude, he got signed a couple years ago. I remember there was one girl who had played college basketball, and she didn't understand the signing. And she's like, well, I don't know. I'm like, what? Talk to me about how he's continuing to do Alex Caruso things and how important that is to this team. Because, dude, I love the signing from Jump Street. From day one, dude, I was like, I love it. This is what we need. And then you saw with him and Lonzo Ball, man, they were pestering point guards and really disrupting the flow of opposing teams because their guards couldn't get into the offense. How awesome is this guy on the defensive end for us?
He's been great. Some of these signings that they made have really panned out. DeMar DeRozan has had an incredible impact on the Bulls his first 2 seasons here. And you can say the same thing for Caruso. And, everything he does defensively, this team wouldn't be where it is even as a 500 club without Alex Caruso. So just a really smart player, gives it his all every time he's out there and is versatile. He can guard so many different positions, do so many different things, sees things before they happen defensively, the way he rotates and scrambles and helps his teammates even when they may not expect it or know that he's coming. He can make a play. So he's just off to a really good start this season. The one thing with Caruso is that you hope he stays healthy because everyone sort of seems to understand he's going to play so hard. It's going to be a sprain, something or another at some point.
Yep.
So you hope he stays healthy and can make it through most of the season at closest to 100% as he can be because he really makes that much of an impact for this team.
It wasn't the Pacers game. Was it Toronto where he hit the game-winning 3 from the corner? Toronto, yeah. And because who started on the other end? Him with the strip, and he got up and go. And that's what I mean. Like that dude's basketball IQ is so high, and and now we understand why they were first in the East for so long with him and Lonzo Ball. Because when you frustrate the facilitators and the point guards on opposing teams, and all of a sudden you're in your offense with 10, 9, 8 seconds in the shot clock. Man, that's not a lot of time. So, I really love this guy. I just love the way he plays. Unfortunately, I wish that he could be with Lonzo. Speaking of, is it a foregone conclusion? He's gone for the year. You got Aaron Rodgers coming back from a torn Achilles. Is Lonzo Ball thinking about any time this year after the All-Star break, last month of the season, or is it for this year he's completely done?
I would be surprised if he comes back this season. Unlike others who I haven't ruled out him coming back and playing for the Bulls next season. I'm not going to say that that's off the table or out of the question. I still am optimistic that he'll be able to play for the Bulls again, but I just don't see it this season. He said he was halfway through his rehab at media day more than a month ago. So it would just seem like it would be a lot to ask of him to get back on the NBA court this season. I don't see it.
Have you heard, because they're vague about it, but have you heard through, your connects, what the hell really happened, man? This is the longest I've ever seen anybody. I mean, you would just rather him tear an ACL. Okay, good. Sew it up. You're back next season. And yeah, we're done. We're playing. But this dude's going on 2.5, going to be 2.5 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where he just didn't have comfort in his knee. And they didn't have we like black and white definitions for things, diagnosis for medical things, but he just didn't feel comfortable and he couldn't play, didn't have the explosion, didn't have the strength that he needed in his knee. So they tried to do a couple different things. Those didn't work. He still didn't feel 100%. So, now the full cartilage replacement seems like that's going to be the last best option that they have to see if they can salvage his career and get him back on the court. But it's just a matter of his comfort level, I think, is the biggest thing.
What's up with Dalen Terry? Is that a bust? Is he a bad, messed up draft pick? Because I don't know. He showed some signs last year. This year, I mean, how far is he buried in the bench? Does he even dress for all the games? It's that bad. And then they send him down to the G League too. So you send your first round pick down to the G League. What is that saying about you as a talent evaluator? And what's that saying about the player in his development?
Well, to me, it says a lot more about the roster and what the Bulls have and what they're trying to do. They're trying to win at the same time they're trying to develop.
Okay.
That leaves guys like Dalen Terry and Julian Phillips. Ayo Dosunmu is sort of squeezed in as the 10th man right now because they went out and signed Javon Carter. If you think Javon Carter is that much better than Ayo Dosunmu, fine. But if Ayo Dosunmu is still deserving of minutes, then why did you sign Javon Carter? Trying to make all of these things work, and it's impossible to do. Teams just aren't able to try to win at the same time that they're developing. And I think you're seeing a lot of guys get caught up in that little mix. Patrick Williams being one of them. Kobe White had his turn, sort of being confused and lost in the shuffle. Now you're seeing guys like Ayo Dosunmu, Dalen Terry, Julian Phillips. I mean, these guys have no chance of playing as long as DeRozan, Vucevic, Levine, Caruso are here and healthy. And so you're going to see Dalen Terry have to find minutes in the G League and get some reps down there because he just doesn't have a pathway to playing time with the Bulls right now. That's because of the roster.
Hey guys, we're joined by Darnell Mayberry. He's the Bulls beat writer for The Athletic, talking Bulls basketball here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Is anybody's seat hot? Is Acme's seat hot? Billy Donovan's seat hot? I had last year I had a lot of questions about some of his coaching decisions and things like that. Any of these guys on the hot seat or a seat getting warm for anybody?
It doesn't feel like it. They talk about, start with Billy Donovan. They talk about how much they love his communication style and his professionalism, what he's brought to the organization. And then AK and those guys just got extensions. So, I don't see these guys going anywhere anytime soon. Unless the wheels just completely fall off, then maybe you have to look at something else. But this team, this franchise, It's a very loyal franchise. They're slow to make changes, and I think that's sort of the consensus right now is that everyone feels like this thing is they're running it back and trying to get it right and win
Yeah, believe me, I know this owner because I'm a faithful. I'm in a troubled relationship with the White Sox, so I believe me, I get it. And this is his franchise as well. Oh man, that is I feel you, bro. Both franchises. Dude. If I had hair, I'd pull it out. Believe me, believe me. Hey, dude, great stuff. I appreciate your time as always, man. And I love the work you're doing. Keep it up. But before you go, let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
I'm at theathletic.com. You can find all my Bulls coverage there, and then you can find me at Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of those social media sites at Darnell Mayberry. And I'm on Substack writing about personal finance at moneytalks101.substack.com.
Shut the front door. What the hell's that about?
Yeah, man, it's a personal finance blog I launched in February for me and my 9-year-old daughter, Parker, teaching her about money management, trying to be smart with money, how to make better decisions with earning and spending and saving and investing. So I'm just chronicling our everyday decisions over at Substack and writing 2 columns a week and occasional podcasts with my 9-year-old daughter talking about how to be smart with money.
Dude, that's got to be fun as heck doing it with your daughter.
It's awesome, man. It's something that I didn't have growing up, not having my father in my life. My mother was a single mother, being busy, not having time for money talk. So these are the money talks that we're having in our home. I'm bringing them to the public candidly and sharing openly and hoping to help my daughter first and foremost, and then other people after that, as many people as possible.
Oh, dude, that is amazing. Repeat that so people can hear, because I know a lot of people in here have kids, and I hear you. My mom, we never had money talk. Save your money, okay? Don't spend it all in one place. I ain't getting you shit else. Okay. But they never had the discussions like, okay, I need, when you get paid from your Andy Frame job where you're watching the Bulls and the Blackhawks and the Bears, okay, put this amount in savings, put this amount you could spend, put this amount in investing. Wasn't even a word in our house, so it was like, save your money. You never know what you're going to need it for. And that was it. I think that is awesome what you're doing. Tell people again where they could find that, because that's amazing.
I appreciate it. It's moneytalks101.substack.com. It's a newsletter and blog and podcast. It's free, totally free to subscribe to. Like I said, we do 2 columns a week, personal writing, personal blog on finance, a column, and also a podcast with my 9-year-old daughter. So moneytalks101.substack.com.
So is she in? Does she do some of the writing as well? You just kind of alter it. Is she in there as well? Or is that mostly you?
She's getting into it. We're training her and grooming her for. She wants to be a YouTuber. So all the kids want to be YouTubers now. But I'm trying to get her, trying to take some of my media training and help her if she wants to get into it at some point. So she's going to be doing all of it at some point.
I'm laughing because if I ever told my mom, growing up, I want to be a YouTuber. Okay, YouTuber, guess that? What the? Get out of here, YouTuber. That was YouTube.
She can make more money than I do doing being a YouTuber these days. So I'm not ruling it out.
Hey, I ain't mad at you, dog. I ain't mad at you, Darnell. Dude, I'm glad you mentioned that, dude. That was great stuff. I appreciate it. I'll check it out. And moneytalks101.substack.com.
That's it.
Dude, great stuff, man. You know what? I'll keep in touch with you and see how that's going, and I'll follow you on that as well. Good
Sounds
stuff.
good, Shawn. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you. You have a great day. All right, go Bulls.
You too.
All right, guys. That's Darnell Mayberry from The Athletic, talking Bulls. Wow. So good personal finance. Good, dude. That's awesome. That's awesome. That he's doing it with his 9-year-old daughter. And you know what? And that's the cool thing, especially in our cultures, right? The black culture, the Hispanic culture. Money talks, because our parents most of the time came from a survival mode. Okay? Survival mode. And black and Hispanic people in the chat, holler at me. And it's a lot of white people too. Like I grew up with a lot of poor white people. All right. And it was survival mode for us. So the thought of saving was a big thing. All right. Investing wasn't even an option, and some of us had, and these are the generational curses that we have to break. These are the generational curses that if not broken, will continue for generations. And that's the thing that we have to do. And that's the thing that, what I'm trying to do over here. And I know many of you watching or who are in the chat, that's what you're trying to do as well. All right. And I think that's awesome what Darnell's doing. So moneytalks101.substack.com. Check it out. Give that dude support. You know what? And again, and there's never, ever, ever a moment that's too young to start your kids listening to that. Okay? Never, ever, ever. All right? Because if this is what they grow up listening to and being around, this is what they're going to grow up doing. Brian, I hear you. For a long time, that was me too, bro. That was me too, and I get that feeling. It just seemed like I could never save. I'd do dumb shit, and I didn't have anyone next to me to say, "Hey, stop doing dumb shit. Save, invest." You know what I mean? And that, I think that's awesome what Darnell's doing for him, his daughter, his family's legacy. I think, you know what? Make sure you go follow it. Make sure you follow that moneytalks101.substack.com and listen to it. He has a podcast. And if you have kids who are of that age, have them listen with you. They want to listen to they probably want to listen to podcasts anyway. But now you two can listen to, or the family can listen to the podcast where it's about a father and a daughter, right? Making money, saving money, how they deal with their money. That's a great, great thing, man. It's much bigger than sports. And if you're trying to change the course, you're trying to break generational curses with your family, like so many people are, I think that's a great thing to add as a weapon. So you can hear what other people are doing. That's the thing. Conversation is everything. Everyone, growing up, money was hush hush. We didn't talk about money. If they were, I was a kid. I grew up in a generation, adults are talking, get out of here. And for some things, yeah, it's important. All right. But other things I think they need to hear, so man, let's check it out. Great stuff by Darnell Mayberry. Dude, dude's awesome. Ever since he came here, he's been extremely generous with his time. Anytime I ask him, as long as he's not busy, he jumps on, and I appreciate that. I really do. You got to understand, there's so many people in this business who time you because this platform isn't as big as other ones, or as the the ones on the radio or television, and I appreciate it. And believe me, I've been big time many times. I've been big time by some of the people that I sit with in the Bears press box. I don't even say hi to them. If I could slap the shit out of you, I would. Just because you're one day away from being fired. Ask those people at ESPN. You know what I mean? It's like, never. Just be a good person. Just be a good person. If someone, you don't have to do it, cool. But if you do it and then all of a sudden, like, well, I'm just too big now. I have too many columns. I have this many followers. Like, come on, man. Okay, cool. There's one person on ESPN who hosts the show. They used to come in on my show, and now they're just too big. And I'm like, whatever. That's cool. That's cool. So, but yeah, great stuff. Make sure you follow Darnell Mayberry on social media. Make sure you follow his Substack. So you can check out him and his daughter, Parker, his 9-year-old daughter. That's cool. And they're talking about money issues. And the more you get acclimated to that as a youngster, you're not afraid of it. You're not scared of getting money. You know what to do when you get money. All right. I mean, think about it. It's literally muscle memory, and your brain is a muscle. When you get something, I mean, think about it. How many of us know we got to get up every morning, right? We don't like to do it, but we do it. All right, we get up. We got to go to work. We got to do this. Why? Because this is what we've been taught from a young age. And so it's literally a form of brainwashing, but we don't call it that because brainwashing has a negative connotation. But when you're trained to do that, this is what you do. And it doesn't matter how big your paycheck is, you still develop, you 50% for the bills, 30% for, 10% for, leisure, 20% for investing, whatever, however you break it up, so it doesn't matter if your check is $100, $1,000, $10,000, you still break it up percentage wise, and it each goes into its own category or its own account. I think that's great. So, Leo, what's up, Papa? Adam John strikes me as one of those people who big time study comes off like a douche. No comment on that one. No comment on that one, Leo. Miss Shorty, me too, Leo. No comment on that one. And Leo, thanks for tuning in, Papa. Hey, we got to take a quick break. Erik is running a little late. He'll be on about 10:30, so we're going to close out the show with Erik. We're going to talk we're going to get some Bears talk started beforehand. I'm going to talk World Series first. We got Game 5 tonight. So let's take a quick break, and on the other side, we'll talk that as we wait for Erik at 10:30. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Off the fake. Fields against the grain. Finds Jesse James. Field. With time. Delivers down the field. And Kramer. Still running. Fake one way. Fields stumbling. Trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown.
911, operator 901. Where's the emergency?
127 Brymere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency line.
Do you know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
Fakes, trying to get it to Eckler. The Bears will read all of that. Justin Jones and the ball comes out. And it looks like Chicago got on it. T.J. Edwards, the last in there. And the Bears come up with their first turn. Erik Kramer from North Carolina. Net on the edge, gets bumped. Heavy contact over there. Clement keeps going, gets
unload on and go get some free agents as well.
Agent in the middle to Clement again to the 12-yard line. Started mentioning 3rd and 10. Able to get it to Darrington Evans, looking for his second touchdown of the night. Chargers on the sideline. Inside run. Evans got the first down. He's down at the 1-yard.
Right down the line. There we go. I feel good about that.
That one looks to be in for the touchdown.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of NBC. That was Sunday night's game against the Chargers. Chargers. Yeah. That was tough. But Erik Kramer's coming at the bottom of the hour. We're gonna close out the show for him. This is it, you know. Bears acquired Montez Sweat from the Washington Commanders, and you know, I don't know. Let's just check it out. Let's look at this.
Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. E-double-L. I said so. I keep big bills up in my hood on the dirty like blood. So ain't got no twist in my head, but I'm still dreadful. And I got plenty of bread, so I go to bed full. I'm in it to win it, I'm all in. I might call you my.
Let's hope he does that a lot. Let's hope. You know, here's the thing. We got some people in here. So, Shorty, you know, you're not a fan of it. This team is a dumpster fire, and I'm starting to think giving up a high second rounder for a 27-year-old DN when this team won't be ready to win for 3 years was a mistake. Okay, here's my thought, and here's my thing. Again, people were, and we got to remember, and here's where I tell people, and I'm not coming at you, Shorty. I'm just saying people in general. The rant I went on earlier. Okay. It takes two to tango. Okay. So first of all, Chase Young has a higher ceiling. Okay. In my opinion. You know, Montez Sweat has a higher floor. But I think Montez Sweat gives you more consistency. Okay. It gives you more consistency. How? Well, 67 games he's played, 67 starts. I don't know how you can get more consistent than that. Okay. And since we're looking at numbers and people like to use numbers, let's check it out. Look at their career. Montez Sweat was drafted in 19. Chase was drafted in 20. Played every game of his first 4 seasons. Currently, he's played all 8 in his 5th. Chase Young has never played in every game. He's missed 23 games in his career. Sweat is 35.5 career sacks. Young, 14. Granted, Young was drafted a year later, but I don't know if he's getting 11 sacks in that 1 year. Sweat has 197 combined tackles in his career. Young has 90. Over 100. I don't think Young's getting 100 tackles in that extra year. Sweat has 9 forced fumbles and 1 pick. Young has 0 forced fumbles and 0 picks. Sweat has 47 TFLs, 85 QB hits, and 11 passes deflected. Young has 19 TFLs, 26 quarterback hits, and 8 passes defended. Okay. So Sweat had, and here's the thing. So here you got Sweat has a 90.1 PFF run grade, and Young has an 88.9 run grade. So you see what the here's what you're getting: a fundamentally sound player. Now, mind you, Washington had 4 first-round picks on that draft, on that line. I'm sorry, 4 first-round picks on a defensive line. All their starting D line was all first-round picks. They couldn't get it. They couldn't win a Super Bowl. Now they got to pay everybody. They already paid Deron Young. Deron Young, and oh goodness, who's the other defensive tackle? And so now they paid them. So now they're in a crunch. They can't pay everybody. They can't tag everybody. So I like it. And here's why. This guy stays consistent. And then here people are going to say he's never had double-digit sacks. I'm telling you, people will pull out shit because just to prove their point. They claim he never had double-digit sacks. Okay. Who on his Bears team has? When you're getting a guy with, and look at his run grade. Okay, look at the way he plays the run. So he's not just a one-trick pony. He's a good player. Obviously, he's a good person. No character issues. All right, because believe me, they're staying away from character issues now. Okay. Here, what's his new contract going to look like? Now, granted, he's got all the leverage. He's got all the leverage because he realizes if he walks, the Bears are going to look bad. So the Bears are going to do everything in their power to make sure he doesn't walk. Okay, I get it. They have to. And that's fine. But you got money. You have over $100 million going in next year. $100 million. Now, the problem, this is what I'm thinking. I don't think Ryan Poles' job is under fire. I don't. It's not on the line. Because for Kevin Warren to okay this, here's what's going to happen. Or here's how it plays. Would you, if you're a player, and I'm sure his representation asked this because believe me, if we hear about it and we hear rumors, they hear about it long before we do. And they talk about, okay, well, is Ryan Poles going to be here? What's the stability of this franchise? Is Ryan Poles going to be here? Is Matt Eberflus going to be here? Who's going to be here? Am I going to come here, sign a long-term deal, then I got to deal with a new coaching staff? It's a possibility. Okay, so I think with Ryan Poles making this deal, I think his job security is safe for now. Eberflus, I'm not sure. Eberflus might be. But again, what if the Eberflus is gone and they do sign Jim Harbaugh? All right, I'm thinking he's out. This is my opinion, my personal opinion. I'm thinking he's out at Michigan. I told you the investigation he's going under. His boy J.J. McCarthy, he's going to the NFL draft. He's got no ties left to Michigan. Nothing holding him back. Him coming home, and I think the team we played earlier, where Montez Sweat just came from, the Washington Commanders, I think they're going to fire Ron Rivera, so he's going to be he's going to be a candidate for defensive coordinator. And if not, you can have Leslie Frazier, another Chicago Bear. Okay. Now, I don't know if they told him all this, but there had to be some sense of comfort level because the Bears just aren't going to make this signing and make this trade and have him walk. That's not happening. So either they're on their way to a discussion for an extension or it's already done. You know, if Poles' job was on the line, Warren wouldn't have signed off on it. I agree. So He's 27. He'll be 28. So in 3 years, I think we're in a position where we'll be good in 3 years. But let's not forget, we don't have to. We got 2 first-round picks next year in the 24 draft. 2 first-round picks. I think they're doing a lot on the defensive side of the ball, and I'm good with it. All right. I think Javon Dexter is really coming into his own. I think Billings is playing great. I think Zach Pickens is really coming into his own. Ngakoue has a couple sacks, but guess what? You put a legit pass rusher on the other side, watch his level of play increase. So now who can you double team? All right, Billings isn't a world beater, but I'll tell you what, Billings gets pressure. And here's the thing, Billings is able to collapse the pocket from the inside. Javon Dexter is able to collapse the pocket from the inside. So if you sign him to a 3 or 4 year deal, no problem. Because you asked what his contract is going to look like. 17, 18 mil a year, no problem. 20 a year, okay. Sign him for 4 years, front load it, cut him after 3 if necessary. And according to Matt Miller, all right, according to Matt Miller, there's a lot of this year's edge coming out in the draft. It's not really great. It's not great. So it might be top heavy. Would you want to waste that? And here's the thing, we needed it. Bottom line, we needed it. And it's the cost of doing business. It is literally the cost of doing business. All right? Big boys spend, period. Real pro franchises spend. It's the cost of, you understand, the cost of doing business you have to spend on people. You have a lot of money. This is not going to affect who else we sign. So now we have a legit pass rusher. We sign it for 3-4 years, $20 million a year, whatever. Cool. It's only $20 million. We still have 80 left in the cap for our draft picks, maybe another free agent. Come on. We're not going to be in jeopardy of not reaching the salary cap floor where we have to spend minimum this amount. No, we're going to be over that. So he's done a lot with the offense, with the defensive group. All right, Ngakoue. Maybe he comes back. Maybe his level of play increases or improves. Dexter and Pickens, they're getting better and better by the week. The linebackers, dude, Edwards is in the top 2 or 3 in tackles in the NFL right now. So I think with the first 2 draft picks, you go get studs on offense. Marvin Harrison Jr., maybe a left tackle, maybe I wouldn't waste his first round pick on a center. No. You're getting me too pumped up, Shawn. I'm ready to run through a wall, and I'm an old man. I get fired up, man. I get fired up about my Bears. You know? And again, everybody, like, what did people want? We wanted a pass rusher. Everyone was clamoring about a pass rusher. We need a pass rusher. We need a pass rusher. We get a pass rusher. Now people are complaining. Well, he's 27. Well, he's this. Well, he's that. Well, he's this. Just stop looking at a gift horse in the mouth. Well, we have to sign him. I'm listening to the radio. They have to sign him. They have to sign him. No shit, Sherlock. Don't you think they realize it? Don't you think that discussions with his, and this is probably why it took so long, discussions with his representation, because they say, hey, listen, we'll go talk to him. We'll make this trade, but I need to be able to talk to this guy with your permission, see if we can get a deal done. You get along, you know what I mean? Deal might be done already. They're just waiting. Or maybe it's coming. It's forthcoming. Who knows? But they're not going to have egg on their face like this. They understand. Yes, they've made bad moves in the past. They made good moves in the past. This could make our team better now. Are you tired of losing? I am. Going into next year, once we sign him, people are going to be like, oh, well, you're signing with too much money. He's this, and you're going to compare him to Chase Young. Chase Young has a knee that you're not sure about. That's why he only went for a third-round pick. That's why. And you looked at the numbers. I gave you the numbers for all you number nerds, your number crunchers, and all you people who just analyze everything by the numbers. Do the numbers say this? Well, he's not as good overall as Montez Sweat. Now, he's more explosive. But consistency, you want consistency here. He's going to pressure the quarterback consistently. Here's where other people have to step up. Listen, we got to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, he should be here any moment, is our guy, Erik Kramer. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. E-double-L, I said so I keep big bills up in my heart on the dirty like blood. So ain't got no twist in my head, but I'm still dreadful. And I got plenty of bread, so I go to bed full. I'm in it to win it. I'm all in. I might call you my.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Man, I am fired up. I'm fired up about this this trade. I'm fired up. It's something that we wanted, something that we needed. Okay. And, for all the shit that we give Ryan, that people give Ryan Poles, myself included, okay, for some of the bad things, when he does good, you have to applaud him. All right. This is good. This is what we needed. Okay. We needed an edge rusher. He got an edge rusher. And I'm telling you, there are conversations that were had, and we'll ask my next guest if the conversations can be had or probably had in this trade where this a long-term deal is going to get done. Guys, you know who it is. Former Bears quarterback. Couldn't make it on Monday, but he's back today, baby. He's back by popular demand by our guy, Erik Kramer.
This segment of Shawn and Maya in the morning, Monday Morning Quarterback with Erik Kramer, is sponsored by Goal Mental Wellness, Inc. Because your life is calling. Goal, get out and live. Because life is too short.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gonna feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing. So
Nick, what's up, Papa? Good morning.
I'm good. How are you?
I am wonderful. Wonderful. Man, would have been better with the Bears win, but it's okay. It's all right.
No doubt. No doubt.
And you were in the house, were you not?
I was for that. What seemed to be debacle was a combination of the greatest game the Chargers have ever played, combined with the worst game or one of that the Bears have played certainly in a long time.
Well, let's get right to it. I thought they had a good shot. I think what they did, I think they confused Tyson a lot with a lot of his checkdowns because, they refused to push the ball down the field. I know the first play was there was a lot of it was a perfect storm of bad. All right. The first play, good. Darnell should have got up, kept running. I know he heard the whistle, inadvertent whistle, which caused him to stop, but he knew he wasn't touched. He should have kept running regardless. I don't put that on him. That's much more of the officials. Then you have the Cole Kmet one where he's getting tackled, but he gets picked off. That one. Then you got the Velus Jones touchdown that he drops in his lap.
It wasn't on the field afterward offensively.
Yeah, they're like, the Velus Jones experiment is done. Talk to me overall about how you think Tyson Bagent played, because I know last week you were talking about that you came out and said you think he was better than Justin Fields. So talk to me about his performance, your assessment of his performance, and you saw him live, not on TV.
I feel live. That way. There's nothing that's changed about that. And as you mentioned, there was sort of, if you were talking about guilty, not guilty, extenuating circumstances in that from the first play of the game, I was pleasantly surprised that they took a shot the first play.
You and me, you and Bears Nation.
Because according to all the fans out there, Tyson Bagent doesn't have an arm. And in fact, they have to get, what's his name?
Nate Peterman.
The 15 back up to get on and throw a Hail Mary. So obviously he's got plenty of arms, so he got plenty of everything. And in my opinion, if you look at everything he did, what did he actually do wrong? Nothing.
Couple picks, he got confused.
Yeah,
3 of them.
Well, not really, 2, but my
2. One where the receiver had it, bobbled it. Okay, I'll give you that 2. Definitely 2.
They had no running game. I was surprised actually when you pointed out Velus Jones. I was actually surprised. I thought he looked the corner down to throw that, like to help the corner come down and take the sail route. And he was late, in my opinion, to Velus Jones. And still, he should have caught it. But, so there was a couple things where Tyson looked a little off to me, but still, nothing he did warranted any discussion that he should be or he should not be still the starting quarterback.
Yeah, Velus Jones, I'm really disappointed in his play, his level of play. At that particular point, if you're a wide receiver, you got to realize if you're running scot-free like he was, you don't need to go 100 miles an hour. You're hitting the end zone. Slow down. You only got 10 yards. You only got 10 yards. And he was going so fast, he stopped, he slipped. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? And then the ball literally hit him in the stomach. Like, just corral it. Just corral it.
Right.
I mean, those things really were
It kind of reminds me, Velus Jones, a receiver, reminds me of a couple players. One was Devin Hester. He's a great returner, and you think he's a receiver, which he wasn't. Then when I played in Detroit, we had a guy named Mel Gray who was
one of the best returners of all time.
Unbelievable. Thought he could play a receiver. He couldn't. So let's just stick to where Velus Jones, his lane is returning for now. Let's just keep him there. I know he got off to a shaky start, but that part of it seems to be he's good with. So
let's talk about Tyson Bagent and Justin. You said you still think Tyson deserves to be the QB number one, and you said a couple of things that his teammates. All right, he had to overcome his teammates. Thank you, Velus Jones. The officiating, he had to overcome the play calling. You mentioned the lack of running the ball. All right, you didn't run the ball. All right, you ran it 38 times week before. You run it 25 times this past week. All right, aren't these some of the same things that Justin Fields has to deal with when you're talking about the drop balls? When you look at EQ St. Brown, the play calling, because I don't remember Justin having them run the ball 38 times for him. He has these same things to deal with.
Yeah, and as I look at if you just look at the two players, since we seem to be focused on either or, that Justin Fields has never looked like the guy to me that can get through a progression and take the check down guy in time. He looks like he's looking all over the field, buying time for something. And whereas Tyson Bagent, if we're just talking about him, looks like a guy with a plan. And he is right on time with whoever he's throwing to normally. And the two couldn't look more different to me in how they go about doing their job. And as you mentioned, so would Justin Fields have to deal with that play calling too? Absolutely. Which was, why are we doing this most of the game? But what we haven't talked about yet, and I know you're going to get to it eventually, is the defense.
Yes, we'll get to that. Staying on the offense, though, but then that falls in the lap of Luke Getsy, because what they were doing is they were dropping those ends. Khalil Mack was out in the flat because they were running cover 3, and they were just leaving those guys in the flat. And what have they refused to push the ball, minus the first play and minus one later in the game when they were down. But they're not pushing the ball down the field with Tyson Bagent. And his checkdowns are not there because you had Khalil Mack, you had other people in the zone, and that kind of frustrated them. How much longer? They just fired the running back coach today for whatever reason. HR got involved. We don't know that one. But, I mean, Jesus Christ, this guy refuses to stick with a winning program. He calls horrible games for Justin. And again, Justin has to play better. Never stop and never take him, not hold him accountable. Justin has to play better. But he never calls a good game for Justin. Then he has a good game plan for Tyson. Then doesn't call the same type of game plan the next week that worked. Doesn't push it, doesn't make adjustments. How does this guy stay the whole year? Or Lord have mercy. Like you're killing QB1 and QB2.
I agree with you. And so here the Raiders just got pummeled by the Detroit Lions, which I was at that game too. And then they fire their head coach.
Yep.
So I don't know what makes Luke Getsy do one thing one day and another the other day, because clearly the game plan should be and always should be You've got a great run-blocking offensive line. Great. Why are you not running the wide zone and Donta Foreman going for 8, 10-yard gain after 8, 10-yard gain like he did the week prior? I don't know, because if you want to chuck the ball down the field, that's what sets up chucking the ball down the field. When they got to commit more guys at the line of scrimmage, and then you've got these 15, 20-yard dig routes wide open right behind everybody. So I don't know. And to me, for these however many 2-3 years, Luke Getsy has been as big an issue as anybody.
Yeah, and that's frustrating to me, because it should be a similar thing where you run the ball. Like, you go in and you tell the offensive line, listen, big boys, we're running it 35 times, 35 times.
Exactly.
And my guy, I have a couple people in here in the chat who are offensive linemen, and I asked them on Monday, like, what would you do if the head coach came in and said, we're running the ball 35 times? They're doing a dance. Like, oh my God, yes. That should be the staple. Whether it's Justin Fields, whether it's Nathan Peterman, whether it's Tyson Bagent, whether it's Moses Moreno, whoever the hell it is at quarterback, run the ball 35 times. Okay. Now you open things up, and I don't understand why he doesn't see it. I don't understand why he refuses, because he sees it. I shouldn't say that. He sees it. He's not dumb. He sees it. Why he's stubborn and not to change and adjust and make it. I mean, I thought this game was about winning and not having your ego and not, soothing your ego. And that's the biggest problem I have, Erik, is that he's trying to soothe. He's trying to be the smartest guy in the room, and he's not. And it's evident every freaking Sunday.
Well, he should understand that when the Bears actually win a game, he looks like the smartest guy in the room. So there's the goal met. And I don't know why he doesn't want to stick to that formula, because winning solves everything.
Ain't that the truth?
And so, like you mentioned, if you're early in that week, if the offensive coordinator steps in on whatever first day of the week of practice, and he goes, all right, here's what our goal is. I don't care what happens. We're running the ball 35 times. And here's how we're going to do it. X, Y, and Z. This is the 3 parts of our running game is what we're going to crush this team on. Early in the game, these are going to be 3, 4, 5-yard runs. Later in the game, we start mixing in play action. These are going to be 8, 10-yard runs. That's how it's going to go. As you mentioned, everyone's going to disperse, and the offensive linemen are going to go right back into their little meeting room, and everyone's going to go, oh my God, now we're on. That's not happening. And why that is, I don't know, but that's what needs to happen, in your opinion, in my opinion, and in the opinion of everybody watching. You've got the last year's number one rushing attack.
Mm-hmm.
Why not this year? Because even though it didn't amount to a lot of wins, it did amount to a lot of promise. And it gave you something that you could say, okay, we can build off of this as we go forward. We've now improved the roster to a degree. Hang on that. Why do you ditch your identity as you're building? Don't get it.
I don't get it either. We're joined by Erik Kramer, former Chicago Bears quarterback, talking Bears football here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Give me your thoughts on the signing of the trade, Montez Sweat, for this year's or upcoming year 2024 second round pick. Talk to me about your thoughts, because it's very fickle and they were very crazy. Some people were saying we need an edge rusher, Montez Sweat, Chase Young, Brian Burns. We need an edge rusher. We need an edge rusher. We need an edge rusher. We get an edge rusher. Why the hell did you get this guy? What the hell, this guy? Explain this to me, but give me your thoughts on the whole thing. You said you loved it. Why do you love it so much?
Well, because he's an impact player, and he's young. He's 26, 27?
27.
20. And so if you can get, as a young staff and a young core of good roster players, you get a guy in the peak of his prime. So 27, he's been in the league now, 4 or 5 years. Mm-hmm. And so he's going to help bring a certain, not just play on the field, because that's how you really build a culture, but he's going to add to it in the locker room and the way he goes about his business every day. And, they took a swing and looks like they missed on Ngakoue, but, Montez Sweat to me seems like a difference maker. He's he's a very productive player who brings a certain, like, you got to account for that guy, like with more than one guy on your team. And so you're going to, as an offense, you're going to need an elite left tackle to not chip on him or have a tight end get in his way as he releases into his route. So Montez Sweat is that kind of player. And the more of those players you have, I mean, you gave up a second-round pick for him. I mean, what's Javon Dexter done this year as a second-round pick? I mean, he's helped in the run game to a degree, but, I mean, hopefully he's got some good promise ahead of him. But Montez Sweat is that guy right now.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. And here's the thing that I love, and everyone talked about, well, Chase, you only give up a third for Chase. I'm like, Chase got injury history. Chase has never played a full season. Montez Sweat is 67 football games, 67 starts. All right. The fact that he's on the field, I think Chase is more explosive. I think Chase can make bigger plays. You want consistently good play, this is what you have to go with. I love it. I truly love this signing. And I think this is what, when you get a guy who's maybe not as explosive as a Chase Young, but comes to work every day and you see him performing day in and day out, getting pressure on the quarterback. Maybe not sacks. He's got 35.5 and over his 5 years at this point. Still, that's 7, whatever. But constant pressures, that's what you want. You're not a great pass rusher just because you have sacks. You avoiding a quarterback, you getting him off his spot, you making him throw the ball a tad too early. You're a quarterback, you know it. Or you making him throw the ball a tad too late. That helps the team almost as much as a sack does.
Let me tell you what offensive coordinators, offensive line coaches, and quarterbacks all notice. They don't give a rip about whether it's a done deal and a sack or not. Is that guy abusing your tackle? That's what they want to know. And if he is, they got a problem. Because now that guy has just entered the game plan, personally. So that's, Montez Sweat, to me, is that kind of player. And you've got to account for him, where as of yesterday, the Bears didn't have a guy like that defensively. Yeah. And so, as you mentioned earlier, thank God Ryan Poles has figured this out. It was the number one thing coming out of this game after this loss that the Bears didn't have was a pass rush. Well, then enter Montez Sweat. So I think that's obviously something he's been working on, Ryan Poles, for more than just the last few days. So I commend him for that. And I think, we can all see that he's dutifully putting together, sort of at first dismantling and then now restructuring a roster that I think, in the not too distant future is starting to look like a real NFL roster.
I have to ask you a question that people are really chirping about this topic. And everyone's, I hate the negative Nancy's and everyone who's, armchair GMs and players and coaches and things like that. They're like, well, you got to sign him. You got to sign him. You got to sign him. Is it possible is it possible that that conversation was had? Like, okay, we'll trade you. We'll give you the second rounder. Can we talk to his representation and see if we can get a deal done? How likely is it before we make this deal? Is that a conversation that could have been had from the Bears and Montez Sweat's representation, or did they say, no, you can't talk to him, you got to figure it out yourself?
No, I would imagine that conversation did happen. Okay. And because what's he got? He's got a 1 year left on his contract.
No, he's done at the end of the year.
At the end of the year. Okay.
Yeah, contract year.
So you're not going to give up a second round pick for a guy who is going to sit back and say, no, we'll talk to you when it's time to talk to you. You're going to give up a second round pick for that? No. So, I think that they've got some degree of comfortableness with, okay, here's what it's going to take to kind of sign him to, generally speaking, what he's looking for. And we're okay with that. And so they know they got to pay somebody. They can't keep everybody at a bargain basement price, Jalen Johnson being one of them. They know that. So, you've got to, if you want a roster to compete for an NFL championship, which is what they have said they wanted, you've got to pay certain people. And if you're going to trade for a veteran at this stage of his career who's looking for a payday and can back it up with the way he plays, then they're not going to get him for what they're paying Tyson Bagent right now.
That's the truth. And for me, we got about $100 million. It's going to be fine. If you get 16, 18, 20 million for 3 years, 4 years, okay. It's still 20 million a year. I think it's still fine. But you did mention Jalen Johnson. Give me your thoughts on that situation. Jalen Johnson, well, he requested a trade. Apparently the negotiations weren't bad. And everyone's like, oh, they're letting him go. And I'm like, no, wait. My thought was sometimes, and you can speak to this, or please do speak to this. Sometimes they'll say, you know what, go request a trade, see what other people are going to offer for you, or and see what your value is out there. Because the value that we have for you might be the most valuable offer that you have. You might not be as valuable out there as you think you are. Go check it out, then come holler at us.
That's a good point. And I think that the Bears, like you mentioned, Ryan Poles is not, he didn't just, wake up one morning and, now thank God I'm the Bears general manager. He's worked his way up. He's seen how they've done it other places. And so you put a value monetarily and length of years on a contract on somebody based on what they've currently done and what you project them to do in the not too distant future. And I think if Jalen Johnson, if the two are, this far apart and it looks like it's getting worse, then maybe that's something they say is, all right, you go request a trade and then you come back to us and here's our offer still. This is what our offer is today. When you come back, this is what it's still going to be.
Yeah, and I think that could be it, because he might not be, as valuable as he thinks. And I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at him. The NFL stands for not for long. And getting to your second contract is huge. And so, because sometimes that might be your last contract if you even live it out. You know what I mean? So yeah. I can see, I have no problem with a player, saying, I want this amount of money. If you can get it, get it. All right, get it. But the organization also has a responsibility to be as fiscal as possible. All right, and say, hey, well, we don't value that. We value this much. And trust me, he's going to be one of the top corners. He's just not going to be maybe top 5. He may be top 8 or top 10. Oh boy, I don't know how you're going to live with, $14 million a year. I don't know. You're going to have to apply for food stamps, after the season. So I think there's going to be a lot of give and take that's necessary. And I hope they come to an agreement soon. Last question before we let you go. And guys, we're joined by Erik Kramer, former Chicago Bears quarterback, talking Bears football here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Do you see Kevin Warren getting involved in this situation, in this situation right here, with anything, with the Jalen Johnson thing, with the Luke Getsy situation where he still can't run the same game plan 2 weeks in a row? Do you see Kevin Warren get in? Because he's over there working on his stadium deal. And he reminds me of that one of those parents like, hey, listen, don't make me go over there. I'm going to beat all your asses. You better stop and figure that out before I get up. Is what it seems like. And so, what do you think he's going to do?
My understanding is Kevin Warren didn't take this job to be a figurehead and just look after a stadium deal. Like, he's the president and CEO of the team. And so that means if things aren't going well, he is that parent. And so he's got his eyes on everything that's going on inside that organization. And so whatever you and I see, he sees from his perspective.
He didn't look very happy either in that press box.
No. And so he speaks for not only the Bears organization, he's got the fans' interests involved. He's got, as you mentioned, the stadium interests involved. And what soothes all of that is winning. And if you don't have the right people calling the shots doing that, then it won't be long before Kevin Warren, by the way, wouldn't need to leapfrog Ryan Poles. He's already in that spot. And so he would force that issue in a heartbeat if he felt that's what was necessary.
I hope so. Because I definitely need some changes. Erik, great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it. Do me a favor. Let everybody know where they can find you online.
At EK Pass on X.
I'm looking forward to this week and then next week as well. 2 games in 5 days. I'm excited. You think Justin's coming back or on Thursday? Because Tyson's already for Sunday, but you think he's coming back? Hey, we'll give you a Thursday off and then another 10 days, another mini bye week, so to speak, and get Justin a full 10 days. How do you think he's going to come back on Thursday or just wait till afterwards?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know where he is with his progress. All I know is that that if you got a dislocated thumb on your throwing hand and you haven't played in 2 weeks and you haven't, who knows how much he's picked up a ball and actually thrown. So I couldn't answer when he'll be ready to play. Only he would know that. And I think part of what pushes him to play has got to be the doorbell ringing when Tyson Bagent is getting accolades as to maybe this should be the guy. And so I think that plays a part in Justin Fields, in my opinion, him wanting to get back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I think the competitor in him really is going to come out like, okay, he had a good game, his first game. I think that really motivates him, and when he comes back, and I hope he's learning. Oh, seriously, last question: do you agree with what people went crazy about when you didn't hear it, or maybe you saw it later when Chris Collinsworth said, the Bears kind of want Justin Fields to learn from Tyson Bagent. Basically, he was talking about the quick releases and reading the defenses, and people went crazy about another issue. But do you think that's a fair assessment?
Yeah, but you could look around the league and look at that. I mean, yeah, there's a guy in your own at the end of every practice that you haven't been practicing in, that there's a guy doing what we would all like you to do. But around the league, there's also guys doing what we would like you to do, and you can watch their video too. The point is, Justin, we need you to figure this out quickly. So you've been here, 3 years now or longer?
Year three.
Okay, so we need you to know what you're looking at and kind of systematically get the ball to the right guy and move defenders if you have to. And so, yes, that is what Tyson Bagent does. And, we would like you to learn from somebody, even if it's Tyson Bagent.
Excellent. Great stuff, Erik. We'll be in touch on Monday.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Papa. We'll talk soon. Thank you.
Okay.
All righty. Guys, that's Erik Kramer, former Chicago Bears quarterback. Yeah, it's crazy. People went at it, the bickering they talked about, and maybe it was leaked by the Bears, and I don't know. Justin Fields is a rare talent, and you need to coach that guy a certain way. And there are not a lot of offensive coordinators who would not like to have his talent. And for Getsy, if the Bears put that in the media, like a broadcaster, a radio host here in Chicago said, he's not that guy. Like that radio host said, he's not that guy, because you take this explosive athlete and you work with him. What do you feel comfortable with? What do you want to run? I'll put together a plan and get it done. So, yeah, we could talk about that more. But listen, 2 hours is coming on. Man, I want to thank my guest, Darnell Mayberry from The Athletic, who covers the Bulls, for coming on with Bulls Talk. And then we just got off the air with Erik Kramer, former Chicago Bears quarterback, giving us his thoughts on the Bears. Listen, this show will be replayed today at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. So the people from can get home from work and check it out. 6 o'clock tonight, from 6 to 8. So make sure you check it out. No other shows tonight except mine. That's rebroadcast. So guys, you have a wonderful day. It's a little cold out there. Be dress warm, all right, and make sure you trust your loved ones. And real quick, I know I got about less than a minute left. Just want to say happy anniversary to my guy, Junior and Patty. Their wedding anniversary was yesterday. This is them with Junior. They got married in costume in a cemetery. Junior was the werewolf. Patty was the bride of Frankenstein. Just want to say happy anniversary, guys. I love you. And glad that you guys are my friends. All right. I'm out of here. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, for everybody here at Sports Zone Chicago. All right. Elliot Baez, executive producer, Clarence Council III, our social media guy, and Maya. I'm the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. I'm out.